Give me the news. I've got a bad case of loving you. No pills gonna cure my head. I've got a bad case of loving you.
Good morning. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 49. It is the morning of July 4th, 2020. Happy 4th of July. Hope everyone is doing well and enjoyed being around family and not going out in large crowds. But relatively quiet night at the hospital. It's a holiday, so it's normal for us to be pretty slow and quiet. Probably end up seeing a bunch of patients this evening since the holiday festivities were actually overnight. Nonetheless, in the little bit of time that I was working overnight and the few patients I have had 2 coronavirus admissions, one of which was pretty sick, the other of which completely asymptomatic, but needed to be admitted for other reasons. So, the sick patient with coronavirus has a pneumonia on top of the COVID symptoms, coronavirus infection. So that's interesting, but pretty nasty bacterial pneumonia in the lungs on top of the coronavirus infection. So we'll see how that one turns out, hopefully for the best, but patient is elderly, so puts them at high risk. But that's about it. No other news. I was covering for another physician tonight, or overnight, so I didn't stay as long as I usually do in the hospital, but starting this evening, I will be on my regular 7-day schedule, so we'll work a full 12 hours overnight and see how many more admissions we get. As far as the news is concerned, Los Angeles County is nearing capacity from a hospital bed, ICU bed standpoint. And it's expected that we should meet capacity within the next 10 to 14 days. Although our hospital seems to be avoiding the brunt of these cases. So we shall see. But I will see you guys again in the morning. Good morning. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 50. It is the morning of July 5th. Yep. 4th of July was last night. Lots of fireworks. Hope everyone could enjoy from the safety of their home and away from crowds. I was indoors, so I didn't actually get to see any of them as I was working, obviously. Relatively quiet night, as is expected at the beginning of a holiday weekend. But with that, I had 2 coronavirus admissions. One of which is very sick again, and one of which is mildly ill, pretty much like last night's cases. So, yeah, otherwise, nothing really to report. It looks like my teammates admitted 2 more coronavirus cases as well. So overnight, that made a total of 4 for my team. And that's pretty much all I've got. Slowly seems to be building up, and waiting to see when it explodes. Probably tonight. Sunday nights are really bad in general, and then at the tail end of a holiday weekend, even worse. So we are prepared. But otherwise, nothing else to really discuss. Yeah, I don't have much to talk about otherwise tonight or this morning. But hopefully y'all remain safe. If you're in one of the harder hit areas, stay inside. Try to stay away from people as much as you can. Please keep wearing your masks. And by the way, a new study has come out claiming that hydroxychloroquine is helpful for COVID patients. And this study came out of Detroit, and I can tell you that this study is a load of BS. There are so many issues with the study that skew it to be in favor of whatever they were using. I mean, they literally could have been using a sugar pill, and the way that they did this study, it would look like sugar saved lives. So don't believe the hype. Won't go into any further details right now because I won't bore you, but maybe I'll make another video later. Nonetheless, that is it for me. I won't bore you guys anymore. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Get some rest. Maybe get some exercise. I guess everyone's been resting. And wear your masks, social distance, and try to stay away from crowds and people in general other than those in your immediate family. So I will see you guys again tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 51. It is the morning of July 6th. So it looks like things are picking up in the hospital in terms of our coronavirus patients. I had 4 suspected coronavirus patients, which has turned into 2 official diagnosed coronavirus patients, one of which is young and pregnant with an advanced stage late-term pregnancy, and unfortunately is very ill. So, and the other positive patient is without symptoms and is here for something completely different. So I guess we get both ends. But things have started picking up. We've also started receiving transfer requests from El Centro, California, which is the hardest hit city pretty much in the state in regards to the coronavirus. They have reached absolute maximum capacity of all of their hospitals and medical centers and are now shipping patients as far away as Stanford and San Francisco. So it is rare that you have what we call fixed wing transports, which means that they're transporting patients by airplane and not helicopter. And so they are actually flying patients by plane up to San Francisco and wherever they can find available beds. So it kind of sucks. They're getting beat down pretty hard, and they're really close to Arizona, so it's almost like it's almost a spilling over of Arizona's caseloads into El Centro. But for those of you that don't know, El Centro is actually located in the southeast part of California, closer, I guess, to San Diego. But there have been recent news reports about how bad their outbreak is, and now it looks like their outbreak is affecting us as we are attempting to help them by taking some of their coronavirus patients in transfer. So we'll see. It looks like it's getting pretty bad in California, but it's obviously really bad in Texas and Florida. So keep wearing your masks. Stay inside if you can. Stay away from people if you can, other than your immediate family. And I guess the only other thing is I have a new mask. It's got a little biohazard symbol on it. I don't know if you can see it. But I actually use this guy over my N95. So usually the N95 goes on, and then this guy will go on over it. I'm just showing you this because I don't want to take my hat off, but usually, I actually use my straps on my N95. But this way we double up masks so that we can use our N95s more than once, and that way we're conserving protective equipment such as the masks to help other areas around the country out, as well as ourselves, because there's just pretty much a national shortage. So, but that's going to do it. I've got nothing else to add right now. Hopes, prayers to all those affected, and we'll go from there. I am working on starting a movement so that people on the internet who you know, who are medical professionals, be them nurses or doctors, who are spreading misinformation or trying to calm people with untrue facts, be reported to their state medical board or nursing board, depending on what their profession is. This shit needs to stop. So, but that's it. Be good, be safe, and we'll talk again tomorrow. Good morning. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 52. It is the morning of July 7th, 2020, and had a pretty busy night. So far, admitted 5 coronavirus patients overnight, so the numbers are dramatically increasing all of a sudden. Getting kind of crazy. Unfortunately, one of our COVID patients is from El Centro, and so therefore very ill and on a ventilator. The rest of my COVID patients are not yet on a ventilator, but at least one of them is moving in that direction. So I got nothing else. It's finally starting to kick up in this area, so like we knew it would, and Los Angeles County has been inundated with patients, and we're reaching max capacity throughout the county. So we'll see what more we can tolerate and how much longer we can tolerate it and go from there. But I was right. I should never, ever doubt myself again. Ever. When it comes to medicine. This is ridiculous. Like, people won't listen to me. My own friends and family ignore me no matter what I tell them. Oh, you're this, you're freaking out, you're that. I haven't been wrong once. So just remember that no one is projecting deaths past September, because October is the start of flu season. And with that will come many, many deaths. So we won't be able to do both COVID and influenza without sacrificing tens of thousands of people, if not more. So brace yourselves. Start doing your emergency shopping now and stock up. At least get a 4 or 5 month supply of toilet paper and everything else, little by little right now, because they're going to have to shut it down again. There's no way to deal with this otherwise. The masks help a lot, but at this point it's not going to be enough because people were stupid. So, but yeah. I'm going to go home, get some rest, have some breakfast, and then come back for another round tonight. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Be safe, wear your masks, stay home, and don't be dumb. And we'll talk again later. Hello. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 53. It is the morning of July 8th, 2020. And amazingly enough, even though the hospital was ridiculously busy and we got killed overnight, we didn't have a single coronavirus patient. Kind of weird, especially, since things picked up yesterday and Los Angeles County is getting slammed. But overnight, we didn't have a single new coronavirus case at my facility. So, well, I don't know what to make of it. We are still helping out and accepting transfers from other facilities around the state to alleviate some of the stress that they are going through. But otherwise, you know, pretty quiet from the COVID front, but a lot of sick people for other reasons that had come in throughout the night. So that's it for me. I'm tired and I don't want to get political and bitch and moan. So it's been fun. We'll talk again tomorrow. Wear your mask, stay at home, be safe, social distance, and listen to experts like me. And we'll talk again tomorrow. Good morning. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 54. It is the morning of July 9th, 2020. So overnight, I only had one coronavirus admission myself, while my partners, I think, had a combination of two overnight. So a total of three COVID patients overnight. Unfortunately, all I know is that the one which I admitted is extremely sick and is elderly and is likely not to survive. While this patient is not yet intubated or on a ventilator, this patient is going to get there, more than likely. Although it is not guaranteed because of age or anything along those lines, the patient has multiple medical conditions that make the likelihood of this patient surviving very slim. And this patient is already on a large amount of oxygen to keep numbers where they should be. So that's unfortunate. But comes with the territory, I guess. So other than that, no new news. Nothing else really going on. LA is getting inundated with COVID patients, but it's in other parts of Los Angeles County, not here in the rich white parts of Los Angeles County. So we are still nowhere near capacity here, but we are helping other areas in Southern California by taking some of their patients to lighten the load on their ICUs. But beyond that, we are done. Nothing else going on, and I get to go home to come back for yet another day because this is an 8-day work week. So nonetheless, I don't think I have much else to add, honestly. Yeah, that's going to be it. There is this big push now all of a sudden by the president to open up schools this August or September, and that is a mistake. That should not be done. This is going to get very bad when we don't have control yet to have children spreading the disease, even though most of them will not get sick. Totally understandable. They will spread the disease and end up killing their parents or their grandparents. And if you remember from when you were in school, most of your teachers were elderly, at least over the age of 55, which means that almost all the teachers in this country will be at high risk for getting the virus and dying from it. And taking into account how little they get paid, it's really not worth it for teachers to go back to school. So request more money, at least make it worth your risk. So other than that, we got nothing. So be safe, keep wearing your masks, stay inside if you can, and keep on trucking. We'll talk again tomorrow. Good morning. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 55. It is the morning of July 10th, 2020. Big news. Had a bunch of coronavirus admissions overnight. I actually had the first half of my night was all coronavirus patients. And overall, my team admitted 6 coronavirus patients, and looks like the numbers are slowly starting to climb. Just for complete divulgence, one of our patients was completely symptom-free. Actually, I take that back. She wasn't symptom-free. She came in for something completely different, was found to have a fever, and so she was tested and coronavirus positive. So, our other two patients that I personally saw have symptoms, definite respiratory, symptoms, trouble breathing, stuff like that. So, pretty fun stuff. Note the sarcasm. But other than that, numbers are still climbing in California and in LA County in particular. LA County does have actually has the state's largest testing site, which is Dodger Stadium. But with that, we're getting a ton of tests done. Our testing rate still is difficult. I still have not received a single test for myself, despite being a healthcare worker and having been exposed multiple times to the virus without a mask on because patients were asymptomatic and I was stupid. So, that having been said, everyone who wants a test cannot get a test. And the people who do get tests are waiting 5 to 8 days for results. Hospital is a little different for obvious reasons, but it's preventing us from doing a better job of containing the infections when we can't figure out whether or not someone's infected for a week. So by that point, they've gotten through at least half their infection almost. So, yeah, we need better testing. We need more testing. We need more supplies for testing. And no one's helping us. And I work at a rich hospital. So that having been taken into account and how much money we are throwing at this issue, even hospitals such as mine are struggling. So imagine how, city hospitals are struggling. Government hospitals are struggling. The VA is struggling. So, but the only other news I have is that, again, we have now been told by the state that we have to start accepting COVID patients from other hospitals to help alleviate strain on those hospitals that have reached capacity, which, again, not a big deal because we were already helping out in that regard, but it is now an official California emergency policy. So, yeah, that's the only news I have. I'm starting to get tired, but I have one more day left, one more shift tonight. So I was almost out of scrubs, had to wear the blue ones, but guess what? They actually match my hat pretty well. So might have to start switching over to some more blue. But other than that, I'm exhausted. I'm going home. Wear your masks, social distance, stay home if you can, but whatever you do, stay safe. Talk to you guys. Good morning. It is Coronavirus Video Journal Day 56. It is the morning of July 11th, and it is the end of my work week, finally. 8 days this time, which is rare, but it happens. Finally finished, and I'm ready to go home. In the process this evening, it looks like we ended up having, let's just see, sorry, 3, 4, 5 coronavirus admissions. Actually, I take that back. 4 coronavirus admissions, and I was able to diagnose one of our patients who'd already been here for a few days as having active coronavirus as the cause of their issues. So unfortunately, that patient has been in a non-COVID part of our hospital for the last 6 days while having COVID. So, not good. But at least we figured out what's wrong with that patient. That patient was having non-lung issues, and no one seemed to be able to get down to the bottom of it. And so it looks like it's just a bad reaction to COVID-19 causing brain issues. So, yeah. I'm awesome. But otherwise, most of my coronavirus patients are doing all right. None of them are so sick that I don't think they can't make it, but none of them are symptom-free either. So we will see. Time will tell. But other than that, our hospital currently has over 40 active coronavirus patients within its four walls, and the numbers are still growing. California is getting slammed. LA apparently more so than the rest of the state, other than like El Centro and the southeastern part of the state. And all the other states are getting their butts kicked too. Arizona, Texas, Florida, Mississippi. My former hospital. Let's see. Mississippi. Wait. I can never remember. Sorry. Georgia. Mississippi. Now has no available ICU beds. All their major hospitals, including the one I used to work at, is now full up. They are forced to transfer patients outside of the state to get treatment because their governor is retarded. And so is most of the state. Uneducated and didn't want to listen to anything, including what I had to say. My own friends who are in the medical field, not doctors, mostly nurses, keep telling people not to wear face masks and that it's for freedom, and now their state can't handle their own cases, and they're begging other states in the surrounding areas, mostly Tennessee, to help them out. So that's what you get. Otherwise, nothing else going on. We'll see how bad the fire gets in the next 8 days before I come back to work. So that's it for me. Namaste. Be well. Wear your masks. Stay safe. Stay isolated. See if this government can't come up with a better plan. And maybe we'll survive this. All right. Catch you guys next week.